thank you so much for making me feel at home. I see lots of friendly faces. And I want to talk to you just briefly, because I have to go and do a zoning meeting, which God knows I never thought as a teacher I would ever be talking about zoning issues. But I am, and guess what's on the agenda? Schools. Anyway, I want to talk briefly about me, because as you all know me, it's always been about me. But I am unabashedly pro-public education, 100%. As a matter of fact, when my granddaughter was going to go to pre-K, I pitched a holy hissy fit because she could not get into a public pre-K. And I said that's the best, and I want my kids to go to the best. My granddaughter, she's mine. So I'm going to talk briefly about why it's so important that you all engage. I always laugh now because every year we say, this is the most important election in the history of man. And you know, maybe it's true, maybe every election is. Maybe our democracy just does really teeter. It is an experiment. And we don't really know whether we're going to make it or not. And so I just always laugh about it. Now I think maybe it's true. Maybe every election is. Maybe our history and our future is there at the pivotal point, at the tipping point every time we go to the ballot box. And maybe it does matter who we elect. I'm sure to the 3,000 or 4,000 people who have lost their children in Iraq, it did matter who we elected as president. Because I do believe we would not have been in Iraq had we elected someone else. And I speak to that now because I have a son-in-law who is on a nuclear sub. So it takes a whole other thought process when you know that your loved ones and the loved ones of your loved ones are there. But I want to talk about how important it is for you to engage in this process. There are a lot of teachers in Palm Beach County. And you are the believers, because you're here. But you are just the tip of the iceberg, and you have to find some way to make a difference this time around. Because, I don't know if you know that Chris Matthews was here yesterday. He was talking about Romney and Obama. And he said what I think, it is not a cakewalk for any of these folks to win. And whether you're a Democrat or Republican doesn't matter. If you are my husband's a Republican, God bless him, I'm a Democrat. And if you care about public education, you want people to get elected who care about public education. Bin Laden is dead, GM is alive. And there are people working. It makes a difference who you elect. Someone believed that the American worker was worth saving, and someone didn't. In Wisconsin, they're going to have a recall. People either believe in the right of people to organize and have a decent salary and decent benefits, or they don't. And there are two camps. You can't be in both. You cannot be in both. And if you're a teacher or a middle-class person, you are in the camp that needs middle-class people to have health care, to be able to take care of their children, to be able to make a decent salary so you can send your children to college, to be able to retire without eating the generic brand cat food, to at least be able to live up to that 9 lives level, which is what I'm hoping for. And so, how you vote matters. I think how you vote for president, I'm going to talk about me, it is all about me, but I'm going to talk about president first. The president is going to appoint Supreme Court justices, and you heard Linda talk about the Florida Supreme Court, which impacts your daily life. The U.S. Supreme Court will impact what country we live in, and what country your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren live in, because they're appointed for life. And how many heard of Citizens United? Okay, that has taken the rights of a lot of people away. We don't know who's giving money. And if you want to see ugly campaigns, you're going to see the ugliest campaigns that we've seen ugly before. But the women's right to choose, whether you believe in it or not, they will be. Who saw on the vouchers, health care? How many keep their kids on their health care plan right now, and they're older? How many know what the donut hole is that we will all face if it opens up again? Those are all things that are going to happen. And if they repeal this year the health care law, guess what? All those things go away. Or if they do severability, some of them stay and the insurance companies go bankrupt. That's what will happen. So you don't get into all that detail, but the Supreme Court is very important. So I am unabashedly pro-public education, and I am going to work my hiney off, and there's quite considerable there to lose, but for President Barack Obama. He has done everything he said he's going to do. He's done it in a very hostile environment, and I am very proud that I voted for him. Now, why do we care about me, and why do we care about people who are in the State House and the State Senate, and what's important thing, why do we care about me? I want to name some names for you. Maria Sachs, Joseph Abruzzo. These people are running for key Senate seats that will be able to make a difference in your lives. And neither one of those are going to be a cakewalk. The teachers can make the difference if you all put your differences aside, all of you, and get to the CTA office and make the phone calls. And yes, I know it's horrible to think of, walk and knock on doors and collect things and do the things you need to get these two people elected. It is in your best interest. It is in the interest of the teachers of the whole state of Florida that those two people become members of our Florida State Senate. The state is focusing on these guys because they will be the ones that put the number over. Okay. Why do you care about a Patrick Murphy? Because he's running against Alan West. And this is just my opinion, and since this is the place, he's crazy. I mean, he is. Sorry. He wrote me a nasty letter. He wrote some other people nasty letters. He actually thought the three branches of government, he wrote it in a letter to me. Guess what they are? Who knows what the three branches of government are? Mitchell.
Executive, legislative, judicial.
Well, according to Alan West, they are local, state, and federal. Okay? And I swear to God.
Most important, because that's the key.
Yeah, that's true. Federal's most important. But we all know local's most important because it's all about me. So we have Lois Frankel who go up there and fight like crazy. She's ours. We have Patrick Murphy who will go up there and be sane and not be talking about, you know, crazy things. Locally, I'm running. And I want you to know, it really isn't all about me. It's about my family. It's about you. Because it breaks my heart to see across the state, you know, I made a comment when we were talking about firefighters. They were like, we're going to cut their pensions, we got to cut their salary. And I said, you know, we have such a short memory. 9/11 and we were going to give them the world. Okay. And all of a sudden 10 years go by and we're like, those bums, get them out of here. How do we forget? And I said, you know what? If I'm going to put my money from the county somewhere, I'm going to put it with the people who are on the front lines. Period. The people who do the work should get the raises. The people who care and work and put their life on the line, and I don't care if they make decent money, they should make decent money. What is wrong with that? So, having said that, there are local people that are running. I'm one of them. As chair of the commission right now, I get to talk about education. When I go places, people don't just ask me. Tonight they'll be asking me about zoning. But other times, they will be asking me about, you know, what, everywhere I go. It's like, what about teachers? What, you know, how terrible it is they're not getting paid? You know, why do we not treat them? And I have been totally on the let's grade the parents. Let us grade the parents. And I can do that now. I'm not teaching. But you know what? We need to grade the parents. Because, you know, they're a large part of what we deal with. I'm asking for you to support me too. With votes, I don't know if I'm even going to have an opponent, but I can't take a chance that I'm not because there's 18 days. And there are a lot of people that do not want teachers or firefighters or regular workers or policemen to have it, they're angry with government. Most of my constituents, I am blessed because I have Lantana and Lake Worth and West Boynton and West Lake Worth, and they all pretty much care about y'all. They do. I want you to take heart with that. That there are lots of people when I go out that actually get it. And they care about what you do.